Keanu Reeves sat on a park bench, his guitar resting lightly on his lap. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the small, secluded park. It was one of his favorite places in the city, a hidden gem where he could escape the noise and just be. His fingers moved effortlessly over the strings, playing a melody that was soft and haunting, a tune that seemed to echo the quiet beauty of the evening. As he played, he noticed a young boy, no older than 10, sitting on a nearby bench. The boy was thin, with tousled hair and clothes that looked a size too big. He was clutching a small notebook, his eyes fixed on Keanu's hands as they danced over the guitar strings. There was something about the boy's intensity, the way he seemed to hang on every note, that caught Keanu's attention. Keanu finished the song and set the guitar down, turning to the boy with a warm smile. "Hey there, you like music?" The boy nodded, his eyes wide with a mix of awe and shyness. "Yeah, it's really pretty." Keanu chuckled softly. "Thanks. I'm Keanu. What's your name?" The boy hesitated for a moment before answering. "Ethan." "Nice to meet you, Ethan." Keanu gestured to the space beside him on the bench. "You want to sit closer? I can teach you a few chords if you'd like." Ethan's face lit up, but he quickly looked down, his expression clouding with uncertainty. I don't have a guitar." Keanu shrugged. "That's okay. You can use mine for now. Come on, sit." Ethan hesitated for a moment longer before finally getting up and moving to sit beside Keanu. The man handed him the guitar, showing him how to hold it properly. "All right, let's start with something simple. Just place your fingers here." For the next hour, Keanu patiently taught Ethan the basics. The boy was a quick learner, his fingers fumbling at first but gradually finding their place on the strings. As they played, Keanu noticed the way Ethan's face transformed, his initial shyness giving way to a bright, eager smile. "You're a natural," Keanu said, genuinely impressed. "You've got a good ear." Ethan beamed, but then his smile faltered, and he looked down at the guitar. "I wish I could have one of my own. But it's not possible." Keanu studied the boy, his sharp eyes taking in the details, the worn-out sneakers, the frayed edges of his jacket. He didn't press for an explanation. Instead, he simply nodded. "Well, you're always welcome to come here and practice with mine. How about that?" Ethan looked up at him, his eyes filled with a mix of hope and disbelief. "Really?" "Of course," Keanu said with a smile. "Music's meant to be shared." From that day on, Ethan became a regular presence in the park. Every evening, he would show up, and Keanu would be there, waiting with his guitar. They would play together, Keanu teaching him new chords and songs, Ethan soaking up every lesson like a sponge. Over time, the boy's confidence grew, and so did his skill. He began to experiment with his own melodies, creating tunes that were simple but heartfelt. One evening, as they sat on the bench, Keanu noticed that Ethan seemed quieter than usual. The boy was staring at his notebook, his brow furrowed in concentration. "What's on your mind, Ethan?" Keanu asked gently. Ethan looked up, his eyes filled with a mix of excitement and nervousness. I wrote something. A song, but I don't know if it's any good." Keanu smiled. "Let's hear it." Ethan hesitated, then began to play. The melody was soft and haunting, the lyrics telling a story of longing and hope. Keanu listened intently, his heart swelling with pride. When Ethan finished, there was a moment of silence before Keanu spoke. "Ethan, that was incredible. You wrote that?" The boy nodded, his cheeks flushing with embarrassment. "Yeah, it's about my mom. She's sick, and I wanted to make something she'd like." Keanu's expression softened. "She'd love it, Ethan. I know she would." Ethan looked down, his fingers tracing the edge of the guitar. "I just wish I could play it for her. But she's in the hospital, and they don't let kids visit after a certain time." Keanu was quiet for a moment, his mind racing. Then he stood up, a determined look on his face. "Come on, let's go." Ethan looked up at him, confused. "Go where?" "To the hospital," Keanu said simply. "We're going to play your song for your mom." Ethan's eyes widened. But they won't let us in." Keanu smiled, a mischievous glint in his eye. Leave that to me. An hour later, they stood outside the hospital, Keanu holding his guitar and Ethan clutching his notebook. Keanu had called in a few favors, and after a brief conversation with the staff, they were granted special permission to visit Ethan's mom. As they walked down the sterile hallway, Ethan's heart pounded in his chest. He had never been so nervous in his life. But when they entered the room and he saw his mom's face light up at the sight of him, all his fears melted away. "Ethan," she exclaimed, her voice weak but filled with joy. "What are you doing here?" Ethan ran to her side, taking her hand in his. I wrote something for you. A song. And Keanu helped me." Keanu stepped forward, holding out the guitar. "Mind if we play it for you?" Tears filled her eyes as she nodded. "I'd love that." Ethan took the guitar, his hands trembling slightly as he began to play. The melody filled the room, soft and haunting, the lyrics telling a story of love and hope. His mom listened, her eyes never leaving his face, her hand gripping his tightly. When he finished, there was a moment of silence before she pulled him into a tight hug. "Ethan, that was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I'm so proud of you." Ethan buried his face in her shoulder, tears streaming down his cheeks. "I love you, Mom." Keanu stood back, watching the scene with a lump in his throat. He had seen a lot in his life, but this was something special. He quietly slipped out of the room, giving them a moment alone. As Ethan's talent grew, so did his circle of friends and supporters. One of them was Maggie, a retired music teacher who frequented the park. She had been watching Ethan and Keanu from afar, impressed by the boys' dedication and the actors' kindness. One day, she approached them. "Excuse me," Maggie said, her voice warm but firm. "I couldn't help but notice you're playing. You've got real talent, young man." Ethan looked up, surprised. "Thank you." Keanu smiled. "This is Ethan. He's been learning fast." Maggie nodded. "I can see that. I used to teach music. If you're interested, I'd be happy to give you some lessons. Free of charge." Ethan's eyes widened. "Really?" "Really," Maggie said with a smile. "Music is my passion, and it's always a joy to see someone so young and eager to learn." With Maggie's guidance, Ethan's skills improved even more. She taught him music theory, how to read sheet music, and even introduced him to classical guitar. Ethan soaked it all up, his love for music growing with each lesson. One day, Maggie brought up the idea of a local talent show. "It's a great opportunity to showcase your skills," she said. "And who knows, it might open some doors for you." Ethan hesitated. "I don't know. What if I mess up?" Keanu placed a hand on his shoulder. "You won't. And even if you do, it's all part of the journey. The important thing is to try." With their encouragement, Ethan decided to enter the talent show. He spent weeks preparing, practicing every day after school. Keanu and Maggie were there every step of the way, offering advice and support. The night of the talent show, Ethan was nervous but determined. As he stepped onto the stage, he saw Keanu and Maggie in the audience, smiling and giving him thumbs up. He took a deep breath and began to play. The audience was captivated. His song, a blend of his own composition and the techniques he'd learned from Maggie, was heartfelt and moving. When he finished, the room erupted into applause. Ethan won first place, but more importantly, he gained confidence and a sense of purpose. The local newspaper even ran a story about him, calling him the park bench prodigy. As Ethan's fame grew, so did his opportunities. He was invited to perform at charity events, school assemblies, and even a local radio station. But through it all, he remained humble, always remembering where he started, on a park bench with Keanu Reeves. One day, Keanu surprised Ethan with a gift, a brand new guitar custom-made with his name engraved on the fretboard. "This is for you," Keanu said. "You've earned it." Ethan was speechless. "I don't know what to say." "Thank you." Keanu smiled. "Just keep playing. That's all the thanks I need." Years later, Ethan stood on a stage, his guitar in hand, playing the song he had written for his mom all those years ago. The audience was silent, captivated by the raw emotion in his voice. And in the front row, Keanu Reeves and Maggie sat, proud smiles on their faces. As the final note faded away, the crowd erupted into applause. Ethan looked out at them, his heart full, and then his eyes met Keanu's, and he knew he had found his place in the world. Because sometimes all it takes is one person to believe in you. And for Ethan, those people were Keanu Reeves and Maggie, who had shown him that music wasn't just about notes and chords. It was about connection, hope, and the power to change lives. Ethan went on to form a successful band, touring the country and sharing his music with the world. He never forgot his roots, often returning to the park where it all began to play for free, inspiring a new generation of musicians. Keanu, though busy with his own career, remained a constant source of support and encouragement. He often said that watching Ethan grow as an artist was one of the most rewarding experiences of his life. And so, the story of the park bench prodigy became a legend in the city, a testament to the power of kindness, mentorship, and the universal language of music.